Hello mga ka-friendsters and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Ranny Labastida at your service. Hello guys! Na-miss niyo ba ako? Well, na-miss ko kayo ng sobra-sobra. I miss you so much. I've been away for about almost 10-11 days. I wasn't in YouTube for almost 15 days because I have a responsibility to do. I've been doing a shift for 9 straight days for my work, so I haven't been able to do some vlogs. But now I'm back, so welcome back to my channel. Now, before anything else, thank you for all my supporters. Thank you. We're almost 252 subscribers. So, shout out sa inyo lahat and thank you for always supporting me, and I hope you'll always support me all throughout this journey. Now, sa video na to, I would just like to say something about the words that I have learned here in Ireland for almost 3 years of living here in Ireland. So I have a lot of words learned here, a lot. Well, but actually that has equivalent meaning in the Philippines. There are at least almost 30 plus words that I could share to you here. Words in Ireland that has equivalent meaning in the Philippines. Almost 30 words. Yes. So let's start with the word loo. Now, what is the meaning of loo? Now, loo here in Ireland is simply means toilet in the Philippines. For example, you say, can I go to the loo? Or can I go to the loo? No. It simply means that that person wants to go to the toilet. So, loo has an equivalent meaning as a toilet in the Philippines. Now, second word is press. Now, press, like P-R-E-S-S, press has an equivalent meaning in the Philippines as cabinet. Simple as cabinet. Now, would say, for example, someone would ask you, can you get me the paper in the press? Well, it simply means that you need to get the paper in the cabinet, where it's either a big press or a small press or overhead press or something down the table press. It simply means cabin. Second one is motorway. Now, here in Ireland, we call motorway. Motorway. So in the Philippines, we call it highway. So we call it here as motorway. For example, the traffic jam in the motorway along this street is really, really bad. It is early morning, but the traffic jam in the motorways, and for example, whatever. So motorway, traffic, motorway, something like that. But we call it highway in the Philippines. The next is lift. Lift is just simple as elevator. Now, for example, if someone will ask you, where's the lift? Well, you just tell them that the lift is just right over there, and when you go there, in the entrance of this hospital, you will find an elevator. So, lift has an equivalent meaning in the Philippines or in American English as elevator. The next is tally. Now, who's familiar? Who among you in the Philippines are familiar with tally? You might think it is a telenovela. No, it's not. Tele is television. It's actually a television here in Ireland. Simple as television, or simply called as TV in the Philippines. But here in Ireland, they call it tele. Tele. And the next word is trousers. Now, trousers in the Philippines is called pants. Pants, yes, it is pants. Now, for example, oh, where did you buy this really nice trousers? In the Philippines, you say, oh, that pants is fantastic. Where did you buy that? Oh, simple as that. So trousers is pants in the Philippines. Next is runners. Now, here in Ireland, you will call it runners, where in the Philippines you will call shoes, rubber shoes. We will call it rubber shoes, but here in Ireland we call it runners. See, really different word, but really the same meaning in it. Next thing is mobile. Mobile, but in the Philippines we call it cell phone. We commonly call it cell phone, but here in Ireland we call it mobile. Like for example, one of my colleague at work saying, where's my cell phone? I mean, I was trying to look for my cell phone, and I was saying, where's my cell phone? I can't find my cell phone, and she said that, oh, very American. Yeah, and I told her, yeah, I don't really use mobile that time because I was new. So yeah, so that was it. The next thing is jumper. Jumper. Just for example, this one, they call it jumper here, but in the Philippines we call it sweater. Sweater. Yeah, most of us call it sweater in the Philippines, but here in Ireland we call it jumper. Jumper. I know that in the Philippines we have different meaning in jumper. I think that is the whole kind of clothes or something that is something to do with whole kind of thing, clothes in the Philippines. That's one of the meaning of jumper in the Philippines as well. But most commonly it is sweater. The next thing is pathway. Now we don't call the sidewalk as pathway. We call it in the Philippines as sidewalk, but here in Ireland we call it pathway. Yes, go to the pathway, follow the pathway. In the Philippines, follow the sidewalk and you will get to your destination. Something like that. Next is the very most common word here is chips. Yes, chips. You know, chips. It's actually French fries in the Philippines. We call it French fries. But they call it chips here. So when I was new here, I was like, what is that? What is chips? Chips. I only knew chips as, you know, potato chips. That's what I know back in the Philippines. But here, it is actually French fries. But it is a really different kind of French fries. It is big. Most of them are big chunks of finger foods. That's what we call chips here in the Philippines. I mean in Ireland, but in the Philippines we call it French fries. French fries. The next is crust. It's actually junk foods in the Philippines. So anything that is in a wrapper, potato chips or whatever that is in a wrapper, it is called crust here in Ireland, but in the Philippines we call it junk foods. And also the next word is soda. Soda. Now when you order a drink here in any kind of restaurant, the waiter will ask you, what kind of soda do you like, sir? So it simply means soft drinks. We don't say soda in the Philippines, we say soft drinks. So here in Ireland, it's called soda, and the Philippines call it soft drinks. Now, the other word is ring. Ring is most commonly used here in Ireland rather than call. But ring has equivalent meaning as call in the Philippines. Like for example, can you ring the doctor for this patient? Something like that. But in the Philippines, did you call the doctor for the patient? Something like that. So it has different word, but actually it's same meaning on it. And the next thing is petrol. Petrol, or in the Philippines, it's gasoline station. Or we can call also here as petrol station. But in the Philippines, we call it gasoline station. We don't say petrol station, we say gasoline station. Now, where is the petrol station in the Philippines? Oh, I'm gonna go to the gasoline station, something like that. And the next word is car park. In Ireland, they say car park, but in the Philippines, we say parking lot. Very different word, but actually has the really different has the same meaning on it. So, and the other word is sweets. In the Philippines, it's candies. So whatever food that has sweets in it or that has sugar in it, we call it sweets here in Ireland. In the Philippines, we call it candies or candies. See, different words, but same meaning. Next is nappy. Yes, it is common in the hospital. Actually, when you say nappy, they simply means diaper. So they call it nappy here in Ireland, but we call it diaper in the Philippines. Next is rubbish. Rubbish is commonly used here in Ireland, but in the Philippines we use the word garbage. We don't use rubbish, we use garbage. Where can I throw my rubbish? In the Philippines, can I throw the garbage now? Where can I throw my garbage? Something like that. The next is mate or buddy in the Philippines. Like for example, when you have some friends, you'll just call them, "Hey mate, how are you? How are you doing? How are you doing today?" In the Philippines, you'll say, "Hi buddy, how's your day? How are you today, buddy?" Something like that. And next is post. And in the Philippines, we call it mail or snail mail. But here, they call it post. Oh, have you received your post? In the Philippines, I'll send you a snail mail or I'll send you a mail through your address. But here, it's post. And the next is flat. In the Philippines, we commonly call it as apartment. Apartment. Where do you live? Or live in this apartment? But here in Ireland, they commonly use as flat. It's very different meaning. Different word, but same meaning on it. And one thing more is the bin. We call it trash can in the Philippines, but here in Ireland, they call it bin. Where is your bin? I would like to throw my rubbish. In the Philippines, where's the trash can? I would like to throw my garbage. See? Different word. And next thing is torch. Torch is simply means in the Philippines as flashlight. We don't use torch in the Philippines, we use flashlight. So that's it. And also when you have done something really nice here in Ireland, you can say grand, you're grand, you're grand. But in the Philippines, it has an equivalent meaning of, oh, you're very good, you're really good, you're terrific, you're good, you're grand. So grand in the Philippines, but in the Philippines or in American English, you say very good. And also when you say something or when you receive something or from any person here in Ireland, you can say cheers, or you can say cheers, 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 mate. The meaning of that is that thank you or welcome or something to do, just good vibes. Cheers, mate, something like that. So I think that's all for now, for the words that I have learned in almost 3 years of living here in Ireland. I know there are a lot of words still around me, but those are the common words that I've learned here that has exactly same meaning in the Philippine English vocabulary. Well, for those of you who wish to take an IELTS, though these words are actually good for you to use as you're learning vocabulary, because it will give the examiner a glance of, oh, this is nice, this is kind of something. Yeah, you can use this because these words are commonly also used in IELTS words, especially in writing, reading, listening, and even in speaking. You can always use these words actually. So I hope you've enjoyed what I have shared to you. These are little things that I have learned here. It's interesting. It is actually interesting because at least you could learn something new, words that is unfamiliar for you, but actually has the same meaning in the country where you come from. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and thank you for staying with me. And I hope you watch this. I hope that you'll watch this till the end, and who knows, you will learn something new as well. Well, lastly, I would like to thank you for supporting me. I would like to thank all my subscribers, and thank you Brahma CJ for supporting me with my YouTube channel. Thank you, all of you. Shout out to all of you there, and to Christian, Isa, to Jordan, to Glenn, to Brendaline, to who else? Mary Joy, Mary Jean. Thank you for all of you supporting my channel, and also shout out to my colleague there, Enzo Tabuena, and please do subscribe also to his channel, Enzo Tabuena. Well, if you are a rock star, then you would probably go and check his channel because it's all about drums. And so thank you for all the support, and I hope to see you soon in my next vlog. And until the next vlog, and don't forget to spread love, happiness, and laughter. Thank you all, and this is me, Ranny. Bye.